Hello, this is Allison Merker Garner, and I'm the creator of Musical Minds. And Musical Minds is a series of books and a curriculum and an approach. I call it a Suzuki method approach. We start with listening, and we use the Suzuki literature for the repertoire and learning, in my case, violin and piano students. But the thing that is different is that I expand that to provide a context. I think that many of the students that I see are without the proper environment for learning music or anything that is aesthetic. And parents are busy and overextended, and to insist that they provide this environment under my circumstances seems punitive. I think we live in a culture that is just very hard on the parents, and to support them is to support the child. So the Musical Mind series strives to create that environment, that musical environment, that artistic environment, that creative learning environment for a child. And I start with the child and creating a relationship that is based on trust and is safe for that child to grow in. And that child becomes tuned right away to his or her own relationship with music. I just try to facilitate that. But that is something that I nurture in that child. If the child is motivated, and every child is motivated in their own way, then the parent has a much easier time working with them and wants to, and it becomes a joyful experience. The child wants to practice, the child wants to listen, the child wants to interact and participate. And if I'm sensitive as a teacher to the parent's needs and the child's needs, I can fashion the class to suit what is of interest and of use to that child, what is meaningful to that child, to place concepts within a context that make sense and are inspiring, and then apply those to the instrument. In light of the things that have been going on with the pandemic and the social unrest that we have, I think that it's imperative that we create and nurture human beings that are sensitive and compassionate. And this is a way of doing that. The materials that I use are multicultural. They come out of the Orff tradition and the Kodai tradition and Delcros, as well as, of course, the Suzuki approach. So everything is geared to giving equal time to all kinds of music and all kinds of people and cultures. So that said, I'm going to take my first book, Musical Minds 1, and take the teacher's manual. I've already done a video overviewing the book itself, and this is the companion to that textbook for teachers and parents. It is just lesson plans. So I'm going to do the first lesson plan in here so that you get some sense of what it's like. The textbook comes with this manual and a CD. So if you're not a singer, like I'm not a singer, the CD has someone who sings the songs that are used and says the poetry that is used. So, and all the more extension activities are on there as well, so that you can just use the CD. With my students, I have them listen to the CD before they begin taking classes. They listen to that and they listen to their Suzuki CD. It's just on in their environment. And if the book is around, the book is designed to draw a child in. So I hired a watercolorist who was in my Irish band when I was playing, and she designed a lot of these pictures. And children like to interact with those. They like the color, they like the imagination that has gone into it, and so they want to interact with it. Here's one of the pages from the textbook that's very colorful and beautifully illustrated. So my hope is to create an environment and a context for these children that will develop caring and thoughtful and joyful human beings. So that said, we're going to start with the first lesson in here. Is if you have the book, it's page 3. If you don't have the book, it's fine. That's why I'm doing this, so that it's accessible to people who do not have the materials. So page 3, lesson 1, beat and movement. So that said, I'm going to move this video back so that we can do some of this. Right. So, beat and movement. So what we're going to start with, and what I start with all of my classes with little ones, and little ones being 2, 3, and 4-year-olds. They have not started an instrument yet. They are pre-instrumental. I want this to see that they have clear concepts and understanding of the different concepts in music. Tempo, beat, rhythm, pitch, melody, dynamics, articulation, timbre. These ideas, they don't have to have the vocabulary yet. They don't have to perform it with musical technique yet. But they do have to understand it and be able to respond in a way that is appropriate. So this first activity is just a welcoming, and we start out by tapping knees. This is the way I tap my knees, I tap my knees, I tap my knees. This is the way I tap my knees so early in the morning. This is the way I clap my hands, I clap my hands, I clap my hands. This is the way I clap my hands so early in the morning. This is the way I tap my shoulders, I tap my shoulders, I tap my shoulders. This is the way I tap my shoulders so early in the morning. This is the way I touch my nose, I touch my nose, I touch my nose. This is the way I touch my nose so early in the morning. This is the way I tap my head, I tap my head, I tap my head. This is the way I tap my head so early in the morning. Watch and see what I can do. Watch and see if you can do it too. Can you clap softly? Piano claps. Can you clap loudly? Forte claps. Can you clap way up high? And can you clap way down low? Watch and see what I can do. Watch and see if you can do it too. Can you stretch up high? Can you reach down low and touch your toes? Can you stretch to touch the sides of the walls? Watch and see what I can do. Watch and see if you can do it too. Can you move your feet fast? Can you move your feet slowly? Can you swing your body back and forth Can you swing your arms with the rest of your body? Keeping your arms down, can you sway? And twist to one side and twist to the other. And we've warmed up our bodies. So let's start out today with everybody on the floor where they're not touching somebody. So stretch out your arms and make your bubble. And that is your space. And there's one in front of you as well and behind. And that is your space. And that is a space no one else can touch. So you protect your space. Arms down. And I want you to follow what I do. Hands up high. Clap up high. Clap down low. Turn around. Touch the ground. Clap up high. Clap down low. Turn around. Touch the ground. Reach up high. Reach down low. Turn around. Touch the ground. Jump up high. Jump down low. Turn around. Touch the ground. I can walk and walk and walk and walk and walk, and then I stop. I can run and 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 run, and then I stop. I can jump, 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 and then I stop. I can hop, 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 and then I stop. And let's do, why don't we sit on the floor first, just to catch our breath. And let's talk about beat. Follow my hands. So we're going to do a poem that's not listed in this lesson. I just focused on movement, but let's just do something that's a little calming. So tap your knees with me, and let's do ski slow, take it easy, take it easy, watch out, here we come, watch out, here we come, whee, plop. Ski slope, take it easy, take it easy, watch out, here we come, watch out, here we come, whee, plop. So what do you notice about my voice? Does it stay the same? How does it change? Ski slope, take it easy, take it easy, watch out, here we come, watch out, here we come, whee, plop. Does it change in up and down? Is it high and low? Yes. Does it change in terms of loud and soft? Does it change in terms of speed? Let's try it once more and see how all of those things make the poem what it is. Ski slope, take it easy, watch out, here we come, watch out, here we come, whee, plop. So that is an important part of making the poem come to life. And that's what we do with music. So I need everybody to stand up, find a space where you're not touching anybody, and we're going to do walking. make your steps loud. Can you make them soft and piano? Forte. Piano. High steps. Use your tippy toes. Low steps, close to the ground. Regular steps. Running steps. Back to walk. I want you to show me with your body a high shape. Something that's high, reaches to the ceiling, high. I want you to show me a low shape, something close to the ground. High shape, low shape. So we're going to do more walking, but I want you to imagine yourself in different situations. I don't know if you play pretend, but I used to love dressing up and play pretending something. So you can imagine yourself being somebody else or something else when we're doing this, and it might help you to think of how you want to move. So we're going to explore different ways of walking. I call this quality. And movement quality is something that I think catches us right here, where we can really show what we feel, not just what we hear and think, what we feel. So I want you to find a space on the floor and show me what it looks like if you have bubble gum on the bottom of your shoe and you're walking on a sidewalk. What if one leg was shorter than the other? What would that look like? What if your feet were barefoot and you were on hot pavement outside in the middle of summer? What if you were very tired and you could barely move? What if you were walking as if you were shy? in place. So we're going to start low on the ground. And when you hear my top number, it may be a 10, and it may be an 8, and it may be a 2, I want you to shout it. But you have to listen to hear when it's going to come. So start in a crouch where your feet are on the floor and your fingers are on the floor so you can move up. And we're going to start down here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back down. And what would 2 be? 1, 2, and back down. And so when we organize our beats by counting, we can extend it for as long as we want, which is called duration. We can make it go long, and we can make it go short. So I want everyone to stand up for a moment, and we're going to just move our bodies in some new ways that are important to know for our next class. So let's warm up with walk, 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 jump, 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 running, 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 now I stop, now I stop, walk, 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 jump, 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 running, 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 now we stop, now we stop. So we could do, instead of walking, we could do, let's do slide, 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 slide. Do you know how to slide? So if we put our feet together so that they touch, and took a step to the side, and then took the other foot and put it back to the one that just took the step to the side, we're doing a slide. It makes it slow. Slides usually go fast. So we would go slide, 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 slide. And if you did it fast, there'd be a little hop there. So you probably have done slides, but it might not be something you've called it that way. So why don't we do this tune? Who will come with me? The jolly, jolly rover. Who will come with me? The jolly, jolly rover, to see, to see, to see what he can see. And then we're going to slide, 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 slide. Turn around, slide, 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 turn around again. Who will come with me? The jolly, jolly rover. Who will come with me? The jolly, jolly rover, to see, to see, to see what he can see. Slide, 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 turn around, slide, 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 turn around again. So a slide is a movement that we use a lot. Skipping is a movement that we use a lot. And what I call a step hop is also a movement that we use a lot. And a step hop is taking a step, and instead of putting it up like you would for a skip, your leg goes in the back. So a step hop, step hop. So those are good movement things to do. Now, we don't have to do movement just by moving around. We could do movement just in place. And so we're going to do some of those. So one of them is stretching and reaching, which we've done today. You can stretch and reach in any direction. What I want you to imagine is that you have sticky bubble gum between your fingers, and it just has so much resistance to it that it's hard to move them apart, and then they want to come back together again. So I want you to try that, and then bend, and bend, and bend, and bend, and bend, and bend, and bend. So we've done stretching and bending. I want to do swing and sway. So when we swing, let's swing our arm like that. It's like an elephant trunk. If you did it this way, it would be like an elephant trunk. And just let it swing and let the arm just flop. And you can try it on the other one. Right? You can swing with your leg, you can swing with your whole body, you can do that. Swinging, I think, feels really good. And then swaying is that. If we listen to a piece that we really like, we can sway to it like this. But we can sway in other ways too. It's not just shifting our weight back and forth, but we can do a little bit of swaying with the rest of our body, or even with your head. So that is a swing and sway. Something else that we sometimes use is shaking. Can you shake your hands? Can you shake your shoulders? I can't shake them by themselves very well. Can you shake your body? Shake your head? And then we can twist. You can twist. You can twist. You can twist. You can twist this way. There are many ways you can twist your body. So I want you to experiment with that, because the more you know what your body can do, then the more you feel like you can express yourself. So I want you to find a place on the floor, and we're going to do something that comes actually in a later lesson in this book called Step, Step, Shape. And it is like this. Step, step. Now I want you to make a shape. Step, step, shape. Step, step, shape. Step, step, shape. Now your shape could be fat or skinny. It could be little or big. It could be high or low. It could be pointy or round. Step, step, shape is a rhythm that we often use in our classes. So knowing step, step, shape is good. Now, getting back to our lesson plan here, we're going to not use the instruments that are mentioned here. I'm going to assume that no one has played yet. And I want everyone to, we're going to do 2 ending activities. I want everybody to get down on the floor where you're still on your feet. So you're on your feet, but you're crouched down. And when you hear my loud sound, I want you to hop up, but go right back into your box. So you're like, whoop, and then you're back down. And then it's whoop, and then you're back down. So back in your box. And then you should still be in your box. You should still be down on the floor. And we're going to do going up. Reaching higher, and then going back down. Up really high, down really low. Good. The old gray cats are sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. The old gray cats are sleeping in the house. If you're a gray kitty, how would you sleep? Find a little spot that's just your nest and get into a good sleeping position, and I want to see what that looks like. The old gray cats are sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. The old gray cats are sleeping in the house. The old gray cats are sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. The old gray cats are sleeping in the house. The old gray cats are sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. The old gray cats are sleeping in the house. So, can you imagine with your eyes closed how you might move to that song? Would you use your pointy steps? Would you use your forte steps? Would you swing or sway? Would you shake? What would you do? Think about that. Think about, what does that song make you feel? The old gray cats are sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. The old gray cats are sleeping in the house. If you had a kitty and you were petting your kitty, would it be soft? And you would be gentle, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be heavy-handed. That kitty might bite you, and that wouldn't be good. So you want to stroke it. It's a very smooth feeling, isn't it? And it's very restful, and it's very calming. And I want you to think about that and what that feels like and what color it might be to you. Is it a blue color? Is it a red color? Is it a yellow color? What would that be like? If you had a paintbrush, how would you stroke the canvas with your paintbrush? So that's what I want you to think about when you listen to certain pieces. Now close your eyes, and I'm going to play something, and I wonder if it's like the kitty music that I just sang, or if it's something different. sound like kiddie music? Was it pointy? Did it have spikes? That doesn't sound much like kiddie music to me. What about this one? How about that? Was that more like kiddie music? It was smoother and it was softer. So maybe it was more like kiddie music. That's only for you to decide. But I want you to think about that when you listen to music, or look at a painting, or watch somebody move. What are they doing, and what does that make you feel? And what do you think they're feeling when they do that movement? So thank you, and we are done with this lesson. I did a little bit of inventing as I went because this is online, but it is giving you an idea of how to use this book. A lot of the pieces and songs, as I say, are on the CD, but they're also in the appendix in the other book, in the textbook. So you have reference material that you can use. The number 1, number 2, I've done in a couple of videos already. And ball pass, I have described in the textbook. I can't do online. It is a group class activity, and it involves steady beat, which would be very appropriate for this class, but it requires a group. So I have the children in a circle, and I have all ages together for this because it helps. So I have the 3-year-olds in there with the 17-year-olds, and everybody has to work together. It is first passing a ball to the beat, and I use a piece. I don't use just chords. I use actual music. And they are passing to the beat, and certain signals have them passing to the other direction. So when they hear that signal, and it can be anything, and they know to change directions, right? So I'm not saying that. They are hearing and responding. And once I feel like they're working together pretty well, we put 2 balls in there and work it that way. And then if they're ready, they come in a little bit closer, we start numbering off. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to use no more than 8 at a time this way. So sometimes I have to split into 2 circles. But it can be an odd number. Does not have to go up to 8. But ideally it would because of the beats in a phrase. But as I say, you just work with what you've got. It's fine either way. And you number off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, not sequentially, but across in different directions. And so they have to throw the ball on the beat at that point in the number pattern that's presented. And we do that. And then if we can do 2 balls that way, we've got a canon. We can start with 1 and 4 or 1 and 5. So we have a canon going. Same order of throwing, but and still on the beat, but at different places in the melody, as it were. So if we switch it, have one going sequentially and the other going backwards, then we have a retrograde canon. So it is really kind of complex, but the kids love it. And if the older kids are in there, they keep the little ones on task. And so they're just absorbing whatever, you know, if a ball gets away or something, the older ones will see to it that it keeps going. And so it's a really good lesson in ensemble and having to work together to keep a beat. So that one is a good one. That's in lesson 3. The Hungry Caterpillar I use is it's a counting book. There are many counting books out there. It's very good for the little ones because they love to count, and it's a good way of learning beat. So high and low register, we've done that. We've done loud and soft. We've done dynamics. And then in another activity, another video, I did lesson 6 with engine. I use that one for steady beat and tempo, so we can make it faster or slower. So a lot of these that are particularly at the beginning of the book, I have done in my sample videos that are online now, they're on YouTube. So if you care to use those with your students or with your children, or just are curious to see what it's like, you can subscribe to Musical Minds on YouTube and just check those out and see if it's of any use to you. And that is that. I made you another video at a later date that has some of the activities that are later in the book, especially the ones on form, call and response and things like that, I think would be good. All right, so